What is something that you swear happened, but you have no proof and nobody believes you? It was 1987. I was in 7th grade. I lived less than a mile from school, so I would walk instead of taking the bus. Since my siblings went to different schools, I would walk home alone. It had been 2 years since the disappearance of Cherry Mahan, a local girl. Our parents had all beaten our ears about stranger danger, and everyone became a lot more cautious. My street was a fairly busy road for traffic, but residential. A lot of drivers used it as a shortcut to get to the main road, where the businesses were. Usually at the time school was dismissed, the road was fairly deserted. I was walking along, looking at the newly blooming flowers in my neighbor's gardens, when in my mind I saw a vision of a beat-up, rusted, orange 1970s station wagon. This station wagon was slowly driving along the road next to me. Inside the car was a very creepy-looking man. He was dirty and grimy-looking, with a beard and a white tank top. He had a scar on his cheek and was missing his front teeth. He was watching me, following alongside me. I booked it home the rest of the way. Now remember, this was in my mind. This vision scared the living daylights out of me. My dad worked from home, so he was there when I got home from school. I ran to his office and told him what had happened, except I left out the part about it being in my mind. I was afraid that he would not believe me. But I felt as if this vision was an urgent sign of some sort. I was sure my dad would tell me I was just paranoid or something, because of what happened to Cherry 2 years prior. He called the police. They arrived, and asked me what happened. Again, I left out the part about it just being in my mind. They asked for a description of the man in the vehicle. I described both, and they drew a composite sketch of the man that looked almost identical to the man in my vision. A few days passed and I refused to walk home alone, so my parents gave permission for a friend to come home from school with me. Later that week, when my friend and I arrived at my house, there was a police car in the driveway. Once we got inside, the officer stood up and shook my hand. He informed me that because of my report, they were able to catch the man that I had seen. They caught him at a local school bus stop, following girls home from school. The man in the vehicle matched my description identically. I still cannot explain what happened that day, but somehow I was able to save those girls from potentially being kidnapped or even worse.